I just realized that I was recording the entire time, but my mic was off, so I gotta do this again. Yay! Hello, everybody. It is me, the guy who talks over every video on this channel. It's me, Enzo. How are you guys? It's been some time since the last upload. It's actually been probably about a month. But I wanted to make a bit of an update video to talk about a lot of the things that we did in 2020, talk about some of the things that we're going to be doing in 2021 and some goals, and also reply to some comments from videos from last year, because I thought it'd be fun, it'd be a little different, and I honestly did want to look back at how 2020 went, because it was pretty different to how this channel normally goes. The other reason I'm doing this on camera is that a lot of people don't really know what I look like, and I want to present how I am naturally without a script, because it can be pretty different to how I sound. I'm a lot more scatterbrained, and I'm way more casual than my scripts make me out to be, so that's why I do these on camera without a script, because I also think if I'm giving you guys updates and talking to you guys, I want to actually be here and talk to you face to face for that, since, you know, you're the people that actually watch all the stuff that I put out. So yeah, 2020 was a bit of an interesting year though, because I have always talked about the plan for the channel being kind of a nice mix of big and small content. The big videos being the long, very analytical, breakdowny type videos, and then the small ones being a lot more of the casual, topical things that are either based on random ideas I have, or thoughts, or kind of more topical things that happen in the news. And I've always talked about having that balance, and this is the first year where we kind of fully reverted to that, because that was 2017. And because 2020 we're kind of going back to that, I was able to see how that works and see if I was able to execute on it. And 2020 was the year that I was finally able to prove that model of putting out content actually works, because I actually had a nice consistent schedule of uploading things either every couple of weeks, usually 2 videos within a month, and if it was a bigger gap, it was usually a pretty big video. I was actually able to work on some videos beforehand and actually set them up as a schedule to have that consistent, and it ended up working out really well because the channel grew a lot, and we saw a ton of people come to the channel and like the content. Even if not all the videos did incredible numbers, I was really happy to see that plan actually works, and now that we know it works, I'm going to try to evolve it into 2021. And kind of what exactly do I mean by evolve it? And that just means that I'm going to still work on a lot of the content that you guys like, the big videos and the small videos like I mentioned, but I kind of want to start making more series on the channel and kind of continue to not grow, but like add more to already existing series. Last year, we didn't really do a lot of videos on actual anime and manga, and that was really unintentional, because I actually like talking about that stuff, but a lot of the stuff in the first half of that year ended up just being topical stuff, because that was kind of what I felt like doing. And then in the second half of the year, primarily at the end, I started talking about actual anime with Reldex and Cabaneri, and that wasn't really the plan. I wanted to talk about those videos earlier, but some of them just ended up being pushed back because of stuff in the production, probably mainly resources and actually organizing everything and research. That's why those came at the end of the year. Basically, everything you liked from this channel in 2020 is going to continue into 2021, but I'm just going to try to expand on all that stuff a little bit more. I also kind of want to look back at a lot of the videos from 2020, because it was a pretty good year. We had a lot of videos that just people really, really liked, and I'm very grateful for that. We started the year off really strong with Komi-San, which that video has not stopped getting any attention ever since I uploaded it. I still get comments to this day about people saying how much they connect to that show, or not show, to that manga, to the characters. A lot of personal comments that I did not expect to see at all. I've actually gotten a lot of comments from people saying that they actually picked up the manga because of the video, so I'm very grateful for that. And it's also really grateful because that's the first video I've ever made in that format. It was not even 10 minutes, and it was super highly edited, and because of that, people really, really like it, and it's very accessible to a lot of people. Going a little bit later into the year, we also had Manga Covers, which was another video that people really, really liked. I find it really shocking that there wasn't already a video on manga cover art, and seeing that I always liked it and I wanted to talk about it, and that video was so much work to make because there were so many problems behind the scenes that when I got it out, people were like, wow, this video is so good. I'm not even trying to toot my horn, that's a lot of the comments I get. It's one of those videos that seeing it resonate with a lot of people, seeing the reaction meant a lot, and I've gotten some crazy comments saying that people actually learned a lot from that video, which was not at all what I had planned for that video. That video was not to teach anybody anything, it was just my thoughts on what makes good manga cover art. So that video coming out was also a nice crazy thing that people really like, and it still gets views to this day, which is freaking crazy. The biggie of the entire year being Reldex, that is officially the biggest video on the entire channel. Well, none of you would be aware of it, but I've been wanting to make that video since like 2017, so being able to finally do it was kind of something that would weight off my shoulders because it was in the back of my mind for a very long time. And seeing the reception of it and seeing people like it and seeing a lot of people in the Reldex community actually say like, hey, this is an amazing or really good introduction video to the franchise, I'm gonna show it to people when I want to get them into it, like that meant a lot to me because that was kind of the goal. The goal of that video was to be like, hey, I wish there was a resource that explained everything I needed to when I was getting into the franchise, because there wasn't, and I watched it bad. I watched it poorly because of it. I watched it in a way that negatively affected my overall experience, and seeing people that are hardcore fans of the franchise say that I did a good job and that they actually really like it meant a lot to me, and it made all of that work of 3 months totally worth it. I was very, very happy to see that reaction, and it's actually cool. There are some people that have started watching Reldex because of that video, and that was the whole purpose of that video. Like, that's the crazy thing about it. The last video that I want to talk about of like my favorites going to 2020 is Kabaneri. It is the video that no one really watched at the end of the year, but not really. I don't really care. That video was really fun. It was cool to talk about a series that I think a lot of people overlook, and it was a lot of fun researching it and finding concept art and assets from the production. There is a massive ass folder on my computer or on my hard drive of just so much art and stuff from the production of Kabaneri. That's all incredible. And it was cool because the more I found, the more I wanted to add to the video, and it kept expanding it bigger and bigger and bigger, and it ended up being a 20+ minute video of Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress. And I think it's definitely one of my favorites. I had so much fun, I had a lot of ideas editing wise, and I honestly didn't think it would work, but it ended up working out pretty well. I think it's probably one of the best videos of the year. So if you have not watched it, I would suggest go check it out. It's pretty freaking great. I would suggest go check it out. It's pretty good. You'll get a lot out of it, in my opinion. Kabaneri is a pretty solid series that not a lot of people talk about. We ended the year off with the current state of Aniplex. It was a follow-up to my video from 3 years ago because Aniplex has changed and stuff. And it was really funny because right before the year ended, the entire buyout with Crunchyroll and Sony happened. And I thought about making a video on it, but I was like, I don't want to end the year off on a depressing note, so I'd rather just save that for 2021. So you'll probably definitely get a video of me talking about that at one point this year. It's important, so I definitely will talk about it. But that video, I'm actually happy it did numbers. People are watching it, and those are the videos that, while they're very casual and short, I find them important because it's probably the only way people will be informed of what is happening in a market that actually affects you and how you view things. And the fact that that video did well and it's still getting numbers means a lot to me, because that means enough people are seeing it, and them being informed is what really matters. And it's why I constantly make those, even though they're very simple and brief and short. I make them because it's not necessarily about the quality overall, it's more about the information that I feel more people need to be aware of. And I'm really happy that that video also did really well at the end of the year. In general though, when I look back at 2020, I can say it's the first year where I don't regret any video I've ever made from that year. I uploaded 10 videos, which is the most I've ever uploaded on the channel. The record before that was 7, and I can say that I do not regret a single one of those videos. I liked all of them for different reasons. I liked some way more than others, but I can look back at all of them positively, and that makes me really happy, because I've not been able to say that about every year on the channel. There's always been a regret every year on the channel, either being that, oh, that one video I did not like and I kind of wish I didn't upload it, or being the regret of I didn't upload enough, or like barely uploaded. There's always been a regret every year, and 2020 is the first time where I'm happy to say that I can look back at that year of the channel and say that it was a great year and I liked everything I did on it for different reasons, which makes me really happy. And before I end off the video, I actually wanted to reply to a couple of comments that have been in some videos, so I wanted to kind of get that out there because they have been in my replies for a while and I have been too lazy to actually write out a reply, so I thought it'd be fun to do it on camera. So yeah, so yes, I look at every reply ever. If you reply on a video, I have seen it. I actually put out in my community tab if anyone had any questions about any questions they wanted to ask me, because I was replying to comments anyway, and I actually got 2, which I find really funny because they're both the same question, being, do I play Minecraft? Yes, I do play Minecraft. I like Minecraft. I've been playing it a lot recently, actually. It's the game I play when I want to relax and chill, and it's just nice to go into a field and build stuff. But yes, I play Minecraft. I like Minecraft a lot. I just find it really funny. I was not expecting that question. Sun Ryu asked recently in the Cabaneri video, "Hi there, Enzo. I really enjoyed your video about manga covers. Sadly, I don't have time to watch this one, the Cabaneri video, for now, because I need to sleep. I'll check it out tomorrow. I was going to request for you to please check out Jujutsu Kaisen or do a review about it. I just want to hear your thoughts about it. Your videos are so entertaining, and that I have subscribed. Keep this up. You are very underrated." First of all, thank you for all of the nice words. I'm glad you like all of the content. The reason I actually brought this up is because I wanted to kind of put out a nice reminder of how I make videos, or how I choose to make videos. I never choose, or I never go into a manga or anime with the intention of making a video. That's not how I do things. I like to get to that point naturally, so I'll just watch a show, and when I end up having a lot of things to say about it, that's when I decide to make a video on it. I'm not one of those people that watch an anime and I'm like, oh, time to make a video on it. I like to work on things that I personally am very passionate about, and that passion can come in the most surprising places, because the Cabaneri video, I had no intention of making a video on that show when I first watched it. I thought it was going to be an Attack on Titan clone, and I ended up believing that show was way more thoughts than I expected, and that's how the Cabaneri video happened. That's how every video on the channel happens. I either have the intention of making a video way in advance, or I watch or read something that I immediately connect to and I want to talk about it. So as much as you want to see me do a review on Jujutsu Kaisen, I don't know if I will. Do I want to actually watch that show? Yes, I do, because the shonen genre in anime and manga is my favorite genre. I will check it out. I don't know if I'll make a video on it, but we'll see. Time will tell. But I do legit want to watch Jujutsu Kaisen. Before we get to the last comment that I wanted to focus on, I actually want to reply to a big number of comments that I got in my Reldex video, being that all of my complaints with the characters or with any of my issues with the anime do not exist in the light novel. I am very aware that those issues do not exist in the light novel, but my video is specifically about the anime, so those issues I am going to talk about because they are specific to the way I watched it, being the anime adaptations of Index and Railgun. And even if I was a fan of the light novels, my complaints would still stay, because if I made a video on the anime, I would still talk about those issues. No matter what, I would still talk about them, because they are issues that would in fact affect someone's viewing or someone's experience from viewing this franchise in anime form. Yeah, sorry, I'm still going to talk about them. They're still actual issues that affect how you experience the series. So. And speaking of Reldex, the last comment I have is from Ruby Rose, and it says, I'll just say that I watched Railgun and Railgun S before touching Index because I didn't even know Railgun was a spin-off. But I'm very happy I watched Railgun S before Index Season 1, since the way Railgun S handled the Sisters arc was so much better. I'm so happy I didn't watch Index first because it would have lessened the story. The whole build-up to the experiments, Mikoto learning about everything, seeing the first sister for the first time, it was so good in Railgun S. Index just jumps in the middle of it. Oh yeah, the other girls exist. Oh, Accelerator's killing. Oh, Toma stopped him. It all just happens so fast over the course of a few episodes instead of being fleshed out in half of the season. So that's why I'd say watch Railgun S before you get that part in Index Season 1. And the first thing I just want to point out is in the first part of your comment, you're basically telling me that because of the lack of information given to you on how to experience this franchise, you ended up watching the show in a way that negatively affected the other parts of the franchise, and that is because you didn't know how to watch it properly in the first place. You kind of invalidate your point and prove my point because you watched it not the best way because you didn't have a lot of information, which was kind of the whole reason the video exists. And then second of all, that's the whole point of Index and Railgun. Index, we're in the perspective of Toma, so it doesn't make sense to explore all of the elements of Misaka and her whole story arc with the sisters. It doesn't make sense to flesh it out because we are following Toma and seeing everything through his eyes. The reason it is so quick and brief is because I say it in the video, he literally walks into all of these things that have been happening for a very long time in Railgun. And without any preconceiving notion of Railgun, you're just supposed to accept that this is all really cool stuff and it's really interesting. If you have the knowledge of what the sister arc is beforehand and expect the same thing in Index, of course you're going to be disappointed. But that's the whole point. In Index, you're supposed to jump into the middle of all of it without any context because you're Toma. He's not involved in any of this stuff. He just literally walks into all of this and solves all of the problem. In Railgun S, we're seeing everything through Misaka's eyes, so there's obviously going to be way more fleshed out elements in it, and we're going to see everything in a better light with way more detail. That's the whole reason it's formatted like that. That's the whole reason it's presented like that. It's because we're seeing it from the perspective of both characters. And it is supposed to work like that, but since you watched the sister arc first, and then going to Toma's version of it, of course it's not going to work that well because you're seeing everything from a perspective that you weren't supposed to get to yet. A lot of the stuff they talk about in Index, you then see in Railgun. You're not supposed to see it before they talk about it in Index. That's literally the whole point of how it's formatted. There is a reason for that stuff, but you didn't watch it the best way because you didn't have enough information, and that's one of the reasons I don't really agree with your comment. And also, because you watched it in a way that didn't benefit you, that doesn't mean you have to recommend it to other people when they can theoretically watch it in a way that's much better. It doesn't make sense to say that, oh, I watched it wrong, or I watched it without enough information, and it affected my view of the overall franchise, so now I'm going to recommend that to other people, even though they theoretically can have a better experience. And it's not fair that you're kind of taking that away from them because of your own personal experience of not watching it properly. Is that mean? I hope it's not mean. Please don't be mean. I hope it also made sense that... I also hope it made sense of what I said, because again, no script. So yes, that is everything. But with that, those are all of the things I wanted to talk about. New videos shall be starting up real soon. We're gonna kind of start it off with a more casual video and then kind of ease our way into the bigger stuff that you're gonna be seeing throughout the entire year. I'm hoping we have an awesome year, and I want to actually put out a goal because we are creeping up on 2K subscribers at the time of this recording. We are about, I think, a little over 100 away from 2,000 subscribers, which is freaking crazy. We grew a lot last year, so I want to put out a goal for this year. I actually want to put a subscriber goal, which I never do, but I want to see if we can hit it, and even if we don't, it will still help the channel grow. I want to see if we can hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That's a thing I actually want to see if we can do. And it's something that I'm putting out there because it's going to force me to be a little bit more aggressive in plugging myself, but I also want to see if you guys can just share the content around and show it to people that you think will like the stuff I talk about. And that is literally it. I have talked about all the stuff I want to. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, it is at EnzoIsTired. There are underscores in between all of the words. And if you want to follow me on Twitch, it is at Enzo the Otaku. And yes, if you guys hit the end of the video, I always appreciate that. And bye guys. Thank you for watching, and I hope we have an awesome 2021. See ya.